Hello everyone, it's Jessica. Finally, I'm making another video, and this video is going to be my January wrap-up. Gonna try and do an end of the month wrap-up, beginning of the month book haul. So maybe 2 videos a month. I'm going to try my best. But you see my beautiful bookshelf. Isn't it beautiful? I just love it. So I'm going to start with Paperbacks, because I've only read 3 paperbacks that I have, and then the rest are ebook. And yes, so one of the first books that I've read is The Vampire Academy by Rachel Mead, and also Frostbite by Rachel Mead. And I really wanted to read these books because the movie's coming out, and I like to read the books before the movie comes out. So I decided to read these, and they were okay. Vampire Academy I gave 3 out of 5 stars. And Frostbite I gave 4 out of 5 stars. So it was a little slow for me. I'm not even going to go into details on what the book is about, because I think everyone should pretty much know what it's about. I'm probably like the last person on the planet reading these books right now. But yeah, these are the 2 out of the 10 books that I've read. I enjoyed them. They kept me reading, so I mean, they did their job. But I heard that you have to get past the first 2 books, and then it starts to get really good. So I pushed myself and told myself, get past the first 2, you'll be golden. So book 1 and 2 that I've read this year. And the 3rd book that I read this year is The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. And I have to say that this cover, it feels so nice. But I enjoyed this book very much so. I'm a huge romance kind of gal, and if it doesn't really have romance in it, you probably won't find me reading it. And this one didn't really have romance, but it kept me reading. You know, it's a dystopian novel, and it's like sort of a dystopian alien invasion taking over our human bodies type of thing. They go through certain waves, and like the first one was like, you know, all the electricity went down, and then the second wave, and then the third and the fourth, and then it actually stopped on the 5th wave, which is a little weird because this is called the 5th wave. So it sort of gave you a little background on what the 5th wave was, but it didn't really get into it. But there will be a second book. I just found out. So I gave the 5th wave a 5 out of 5. Action. I thought the writing was amazing. I love the different point of views. I believe it was somewhere in first person, somewhere in third. And I thought I wasn't going to enjoy it at first, but it hooked. It hooks me right in, and I enjoyed it very much so. So if you haven't read The Fifth Wave, go read it and let me know what you think. 5 out of 5 stars for Mr. Rick Yancey. And by the way, I don't know if he came out with any other books, but this is my first. Actually, yes, he did come out with quite a few books. Sorry. But this is my first Rick Yancey book that I've ever read, and I'm very happy that I read it, and I absolutely love the cover. So, I mean, hello. And the next books, they will all be ebooks. And, okay, so I'm done with the paperback portion of the January wrap-up, and I'm going to go with the ebook. About is Sweet Perel by Wendy Higgins. And I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed it very much so. I think it was very well written. This is the second book in the Sweet Evil series. The first book being Sweet Evil. The second one being Sweet Perel, which I'm hoping I'm saying the name right. And the third book being Sweet Reckoning, which is not out yet, and I believe it comes out in March. What I really loved about this books are the sins. I like the darkness of the book. I like the storytelling. I like the characters. And I really, really enjoyed the sinfulness of this book as far as lust, gluttony. They even have some new sins in there. It deals with your auras, the colors of your auras mean something. Like, if you're green, then that's envy. And then you're red, well, that's lust. And I think yellow is like, loving, pink or something like that. So I really, really, really enjoyed it. And if you like those paranormal fantasy sort of books, I highly, highly recommend. It easily became one of my favorite series. So yes, 5 out of 5 stars for both Sweet Evil and Sweet Pearl. The second book that I read is called Winter Blues by Jade Goodmore, and she is an up-and-coming indie author. She just self-published this book. I think it was last month, and I rather enjoyed it. It really, really pissed me off to the point where I just wanted to throw my iPad across the room and say, you know what, just forget about it. I'm so sick of it. It's always where you want to punch the female character in the face. Well, this one I wanted to punch both the female and the male character in the face. But it was a very believable book. Very believable. And I gave it a 3.99 out of 5 stars. So I guess if you call it 4, and if it was a 4, probably a really, really low 4. So, yes, that is Winter Blues by Jade Goodmore, who I love very, very dearly. The next book I read was Twisted Perfection by Abby Glines. And I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars. I did not enjoy it very much so. And I think a lot of people enjoyed it because there was a sexy male, there was sex. But to me, yeah, he was sexy. Yeah, the Abby can write her ass off. But there wasn't much to it but sex and no problem. The supposedly problem to me wasn't even a problem, and I didn't enjoy it as much as others have. It's a pretty quick read. I read it fairly fast, but I did enjoy it. There's a second book to the series, and I'm not in a rush to read it, so I'll get to it when I get to it. But yeah, there's not really much else to say about it, but it was just okay. So that one is a 3 out of 5 stars. The next book I read is Raw by Bella Aurora. And I gave this book 5 stars. I really enjoyed this book. Coming into this book, I thought that it was going to be a dark read because I was really, really looking for something dark. And I didn't get that from here. I got sort of a dark read, but not like that crazy, crazy darkness. I mean, the character was an alpha male, and which is always a good thing. Tattoos, sexy. I loved his character. But the female, I did think that was my only downfall, is that she was just a complete idiot. There was so many clues thrown at her as to who this guy was, and she was just like really stupid about it. I didn't enjoy that part. But I enjoyed the storytelling a lot. I thought it was really good. And, it was sexy. It was hot. And let me just say for the record, she better come out with a novella because that ending was, I don't even know. So, yeah, it's called Raw by Bella Aurora, and I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. And, yeah, if you haven't read it, go and read it. It's amazing, but it is an adult book, so beware. The next book I read is probably my favorite book that I've read this whole month, and into my favorite books of all time, and it is Forbidden by Tabitha Zuzuma. And I gave this about 1 billion stars out of 1 billion stars because it was that amazing. This book put me in a book funk for about almost a week and a half. And it's hard to not even cry just thinking about it. It's one of those books that it'll just be with you forever and ever and ever. And I cannot wait until it's like hanging over here in my bookshelf with all these other amazing books, because it was phenomenal. I've never read a Tabitha Suzuma book, and I love her. Her writing was superb. The storytelling was amazing. But this is not a book for everyone. It is very taboo. It's very different. And I will say that it is about a boy and a girl who are indeed blood brother and sister, who ends up falling in love with each other. And I know, oh, it's disgusting, it's incest. But once you read it, you start to understand how it came about and how there wasn't a problem. I didn't see a problem with it. I mean, I have a brother and I've never seen my brother. I don't even want to think about that. Like, that is just way out of the, like, atmosphere, way beyond the earth. No. But the way that she wrote this book, oh my gosh, I can't express it. I seriously can't, because it was just that amazing. And if you're willing to give a book a try, please read this one. Please. Because it's amazing. So, yeah, 1 billion out of 1 billion stars for that one. My next read was, and I don't really consider this a reread, although I did read it because it's a full novel, but I beta read a book for an up-and-coming author called Anne Montgomery. Her title of the book is Unhinged Me, and it'll be out this month. So I will not go into details, except I'll leave a photo, like I said, and you can go check it out on Goodreads, read the synopsis, and put it on your TBR if you want. The last book I've read is Alabama Sons by another up-and-coming indie author who recently, probably a couple weeks ago, just released her first novel, and it's from E.A. Whitehead, Alabama Sons. I think the one word to describe this book would be cute. Really, 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 really cute. It was adorable. There was some steep factors in there. But overall, it was just a really cute book. I mean, there's nothing really negative to say about it. I did give it 3 stars out of 5. I think I was just expecting more. And again, I didn't feel like the problem that was in there wasn't a problem. I think it was just one of those that they made it a problem, and it really wasn't. They also had secondary characters that probably had a bit more attention than the other ones, and didn't enjoy that too much. But for a first novel, it was written pretty well. The writing was a little different for me. I don't know why, but it took me a little longer to read than like the Vampire Academy books, how it just flowed. The writing was really different. So if you can get past that, go on Goodreads, Amazon, or whatever, and you can go and get her book. So those are the 10 books that I read for the month of January. Let me know if you read any of them. Comment on what you think. Tell me what you think about them. If you want me to do a book review on one of those, let me know which one. But I would say it was a pretty good reading month for me. I had some good 5-star books and some not so great 3-star books. But there wasn't any 2 or 1 star, so that's always a good thing. So yes, I will be back with my February book haul as soon as I figure out what it is I'm going to read. And you'll be seeing me again in a few minutes.